Hey everyone, my name is Bahroz. I'm a career coach and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will be diving into how to nail interview questions about Amazon's leadership principle of customer obsession. This is a big one because at Amazon, it's all about putting the customer first always. I'm not just going to throw the star model at you and call it a day. Instead, I'm going to walk you through the approach and the mindset you need to take in order to crush these questions, along with some key things to highlight to make your answer stand out versus all other candidates. I'll also tie this to a bunch of sample questions so you can see how it all comes together. And now let's get rolling into the video. Now, first off, customer obsession isn't just about making customer happy. It's about deeply understanding their needs, sometimes even before they do, and going all in to deliver value for them. When you're answering these questions, you want to show you're not just reacting to customers, but proactively solving their problems, even when it's tough. You need to prove that you are thinking long-term impact, not just short-term wins. Now, when you're prepping your answer, start by grounding yourself in the customer's perspective. Ask yourself, what was the customer's pain point? What did they need? Even if they didn't say it outright. Then think about how you took ownership of that need. Did you go beyond the bare minimum? Did you anticipate something they didn't even know that they wanted? Your answer should scream, I live and breathe for the customer and I'm strategic about it. Show you're not just checking the box, rather you're obsessed with their success, because this is super important for Amazon. Next, you want to weave in data or feedback. Amazon loves metrics and customer insights. Like if you can mention how you use data like customer feedback, surveys, or usage patterns to guide your actions, this will show you're not just guessing that customer wants something, you're making informed decisions. And don't forget to highlight the outcome. Did the customer stick around? Did their satisfaction score go up? Did your solution save them time or money? Tie it back to the impact. Another big thing is to own the tough moments. If the situation was messy, like an unhappy customer or an unreasonable request, don't shy away from that. Show how you stayed calm, empathetic, and solution focused even when it was hard. And if you had to balance customer needs with business priorities, explain your thought process. Why did you make the call? How did you ensure the customer still felt heard? Finally, always end with what you learned. This is super important and a lot of candidates forget. Amazon loves growth mindset. Even if the outcome was great or not great, what would you do differently next time? This shows you're reflective and always looking to improve. All right, now let's apply this to some sample questions. I'm going to run you through a few, and for each I'll highlight the approach and the key points to hit. Note, the questions I will share with you in this video are exactly the ones you should expect in the Amazon interview. And the reason I say this with confidence is because I've coached many candidates who successfully have landed jobs at Amazon. A lot of them even share the details of their hiring process with me. Yes, including the specific questions that they were asked. So hence I've got you covered. Now, if you are also interested in one-to-one coaching for interview skills, you can book a session with me through the link in the description of this video. Also, if you're curious about the content I will cover in this session, you can check out some of the recorded coaching sessions that are available on my channel within the Amazon hiring playlist. Now, question 1. Describe a difficult interaction you had with a customer. How did you deal with it? What was the outcome and how you would handle it differently? For this particular one, pick a story where the customer was frustrated or upset. Start by explaining their issue clearly, like show you understood their pain. Then walk through how you stayed calm and empathetic. Maybe you listened actively, asked clarifying questions, or offered a creative solution. Highlight any data that you used. It could be like checking their order history in order for you to personalize your response. With regards to the outcome, maybe you turned them around and they left a positive review. If it didn't go perfectly, that's okay as well. Be honest, but focus on how you resolved it. Now, for the handle it differently part, show self-awareness. Maybe you'd loop in a manager sooner or communicate more proactively. The key things to call out are empathy, problem solving, and what you learned. Now, important call out here before we move into further questions. As you probably know, Amazon has 16 leadership principles. During the interview process, they'll be evaluating you based on these principles. In fact, I've made a separate video diving deep into Amazon leadership principles, so I highly recommend checking them out first as part of your prep. That being said, not all 16 leadership principles will come up in every interview. You'll be evaluated mainly on the ones most relevant to the role you've applied for. Typically, you'll be asked about 6 to 8 of them. To help you figure out which principles are the most important for your role, I've made a separate video explaining exactly that. I'll leave the link for that video in the description as well, so be sure to check it out. Now, while in this particular video I'm covering the question around customer obsession, I've also made separate videos for each of the 16 leadership principles, so you can go through the full playlist on my channel and find videos that focus on the principles most relevant to your role. Now let's move to question number 2. Tell me about a time when you went above and beyond for a customer, why you did it, how did they respond, what was the outcome. Here you want to showcase going the extra mile. Pick a story where you didn't just meet expectations, you blew them away. Maybe you expedited a delivery or customized a solution. Explain why you did it. Was it because you saw a chance to build loyalty, or because you genuinely cared about the experience? Now here the customer's response is huge. Did they thank you? Did they keep coming back, or did they spread the word? With regards to the outcome, tie it to something measurable if possible, like repeat business or higher NPS score. Key things here to cover are initiative, customer impact, and business value. Now, before moving further into additional questions, I've got one small favor to ask. If you find this video helpful, please like it. Your support keeps me motivated to create more high quality content for you, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I post a lot of content about career success and wealth building, so if these topics are of interest to you, then this channel is right for you. Now, question number 3, give me an example of when you were able to anticipate a customer need with a solution they didn't know they needed yet. How did you know they needed the solution, and how did they respond? This is about being proactive. Pick a time when you spotted a customer need before they even did it, or before they even needed it. Maybe you analyzed usage data or noticed a pattern in their feedback. Explain how you connected the dots. Did you use insights from report or your own intuition based on experience? Then describe the solution you offered and how the customers reacted. Maybe they were surprised or thrilled. The outcome here should show how your foresight added value, like saving them time or improving their workflow. Key things here that you need to cover are proactive thinking, which is very important, being asked in the question, data-driven decisions, and customer delight. Now, important call out. As part of Amazon's hiring process, you may also be asked to take Amazon assessment tests. The best way to crush the test is to learn the hacks, which I've shared previously in a video on my channel. But more importantly, practice. Practice sample questions, sample tests. It all helps. I did some digging online and found a wonderful website with practice questions and tests that really mimic the real thing. I highly recommend checking them out as part of your preparation. I will leave the link to that website in the description of this video. Now let's move to question number 4. Question number 4 is, give me an example of a time when you asked for customer feedback. How did you use that feedback to drive innovation or improvement? How did the customer respond? This one's about listening and acting. Talk about a time when you actively sought feedback, maybe through a survey, a follow-up call, or a usability test. Explain how you analyzed the feedback and turned it into action. Did you tweak a product feature or streamline a process? Show how you close the loop with the customer. Did you tell them, hey, we made this change because of you? And their response matters. Did they feel valued, or they kept engaging with you? Here, the idea is, or the key things that you need to cover in this question is seeking feedback, driving change, and building trust. Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. Tell me about a time when you evaluated the customer experience of your product or service. What did you do? What was the result? Here you're showing you can step back and assess the big picture. Maybe you conducted a customer journey mapping session or analyzed support tickets. Explain your process. Did you use data like churn rates or satisfaction scores? Then describe the actions you took, like redesigning a feature or training your team. The results should show measurable improvement like faster response times or higher customer retention. The key things you're trying to cover in this question is analytical thinking, process improvement, and impact. Let's take one more example. Question number 6. Tell me about a time when a customer came to you for something that wouldn't actually address their need? How did you approach the situation? What was the result? This is about guiding customers with empathy, like a story you pick where the customer wanted one thing, but you knew it wasn't the right fix. Explain how you listened, asked questions to understand their real need, and proposed a better solution. Maybe you had to educate them gently. The result here is ideally the customer got what they truly needed and appreciated your expertise. The key thing that we need to cover in this particular question is being an active listener, being a problem solver, and customer education. Let's talk about question number 7. Sometimes customers make unreasonable requests. Tell me about a time when you've had a push back or say no to customers' request. What did you say or do in response? Now, this question is a bit tricky, but it's about balance. Pick a time when a request was unrealistic, maybe it broke policy or wasn't feasible. Explain how you said no while still being respectful and solution oriented. Did you offer an alternative? Show you stayed calm and professional. The outcome should highlight how you preserved the relationship even if they didn't get exactly what they wanted. The key things to cover here is diplomacy, firmness, and maintaining trust. Another question that you can easily expect in the Amazon interview under customer obsession is, tell me about a time when you had to balance the needs of the customers with the needs of the business. What did you do? What was the result? This is about trade-offs. Describe a situation where customers' demand clashed with business goals like cost or scalability. Walk through your decision-making process. How did you weigh both sides? Maybe you found a middle ground, like a partial refund instead of a full refund. The result should show you protected the business while keeping the customer happy. Here, what you need to essentially cover in this question is strategic thinking long-term, not just going for short-term solutions, compromise, and dual focus on customer and business. The last question, sample question that I have is, give me an example of a change you implemented in your current team or organization to meet the needs of your customers. What has been the result? Now, this question is for managers to show leadership. So talk about change you drove, maybe a new process, tool, or policy based on customer needs. Explain how you identified the need, feedback, data, etc. that could be used, and rail your team to make it happen. The result here is ideally a happier customer, a better business outcome like higher sales or retention. Key things you need to cover in this question is leadership, customer-driven change, and measurable impact. Well, those were all the questions I had. So that's kind of the playbook. For any of these questions, your approach is put the customer first, use data or feedback to back your actions, show ownership, and highlight the impact. Don't just tell a story, show your obsession with the customer. Practice your stories, keep them tight, and make sure they feel authentic. You got this. Thank you.